Guess what? I'm going to tell you who once owned this house. I didn't tell you this before, but it was none other than Samuel Goldwyn. Metro Goldwyn Mayer, guys. Louis B. Mayer and Samuel Goldwyn were next door neighbors. And these houses right here in between were not there back in the day. So this was all empty, and Marilyn and JFK could go in disguise and walk from this house right here right over to here on the beach, and Marilyn would have been wearing a scarf or a robe, and you could not tell it was her. And this is where it all went down, guys. The White House West, the Western White House, guys. Amazing. And I'm the first one to photograph it. So to all you skeptics and doubters out there, some of you weren't even old enough to be even born back then, and I think it's funny that you have opinions of what happened but way back when you weren't even born. Back then, guys, sex was a big deal, and sex was being kept secret. All the stars' sex lives were basically secret, and when they did come into the public attention, it was a scandal. And let me tell you something, if the mob or the CIA or anybody had this kind of information on the Kennedys and they wanted to blackmail them, that could have easily been done. So I want to give a shout out to a couple of my skeptics and doubters. First, Samantha, who had me on her podcast. We had a very nice podcast, talked all about the story, told her about this whole story, and she didn't actually in the end believe the story. She believed me, but she didn't believe the fact that JFK and RFK had an affair with Marilyn Monroe, or even that Marilyn died under mysterious circumstances, or that it wasn't a suicide. She doesn't believe that. And another one of my doubters, Lucas, a Facebook group, he runs a Facebook group on Marilyn, and he doesn't believe that they ever had an affair, or Robert F. Kennedy have an affair with Marilyn. But look, guys, she's sitting, posing right in front of the house. Can you see that? Right in front of the house behind me, guys. How are you gonna misconstrue that? So hey guys, we're back out here at my favorite location, the secret unseen love nest of Marilyn Monroe, JFK, RFK. I did a part 3 and I edited the video. I got it home, I edited it. I saw some things that I could improve on. I saw some things that I didn't quite understand. I wanted to come out again and take some more photographs, get a better understanding of the topography out here so that I get it absolutely correct, guys. But as I said, I have something pretty incredible to show you, so stay tuned for that. So the focus of this little segment is the amazing event that happened on July 13th, 1962, because Marilyn Monroe and her longtime photographer and good friend, George Barris, came down to the Santa Monica beach to shoot some photographs of Marilyn. She had just sung Happy Birthday to the President, and 3 weeks before she died, guys, not even 3 weeks before she died, she came down here. It was her choice to come down right to this beach and shoot. Just so happened, right outside the Peter Lawford Mansion house, the Louis B. Mayer house, and subsequently the house that I showed you right here. Right there somewhere, with that little green awning. That's the house that was the secret unseen love nest of Marilyn Monroe and JFK, RFK. And so what I did was, I'm going to be showing you a picture of this. Let me stop and show you the picture. So you saw the photographs, 2 photographs in particular, both right outside this very house, guys. And Marilyn is wrapped in a green towel that day. She was wearing a dark tangerine bikini. They came down here with a white robe a green towel, and this Mexican knit sweater that is absolutely an icon in Marilyn Monroe memorabilia. In fact, it sold recently at auction, and it's over at the Ripley's Believe It or Not in Hollywood, and we'll be doing a video on that. I would love to show you that knit sweater that she wore down here with George Barris. And I just wonder where that green towel is, guys. That always just completely fascinates me. So I'm going to admit that I was fooled, and that's the reason I had to come back down here to check this out and to verify this. I had actually originally thought that the photograph was shot facing north this way, but as you can see in the photographs, in a series of photographs that she took, not just those two with the house in it, we see that the photograph is actually being taken in this direction with the Santa Monica Pier in the background. And this is almost the exact spot that Marilyn was photographed in by George Barris on July 13th, 1962. And you can see the double stack on the house right here, the double chimney, right? It's hard for me to point, but you see that double stack of the chimney and how much space is in between it? Well, I had to, I went from this way. Look how I tried to judge this. The farther I go this way, guys, the space in between the chimneys open up. And the more I go this way, the more I go north, the more the space closes down between the chimneys. That gave me a really good idea of the angle here. So a little CSI, a little Columbo action for Drew. Matching things up to 1962, this is almost the exact spot that Marilyn was photographed that day. Now, of course, they didn't have the bike path here back in 1962, so there weren't many people that walked on this beach this close to the houses, because why would they? They'd be walking down along the water line. So any of you photographers out there want to chime in here? I think that I have a grasp on this. By the way, you see that lifeguard station out there? Or actually it's this one, I believe, is in one of the photographs, although you cannot read the lifeguard station number. But I have a feeling it's this one. Before, when I was fooled, I thought it was that one. But basically, I thought the photograph was being taken in the opposite direction. So I had to come down here to verify this, and like I said, I pretty much found exactly where Marilyn was being photographed that day. Now let's talk about George Barris. In an interview, he said that Marilyn called him the Friday before she died and called him in New York. He was working on a piece for Cosmopolitan, and she asked him to come back to LA, that it was urgent and that she had something to talk to him about, and that it was important and something bad was happening. She mentioned something that it wasn't a good thing. Now, why would she go and call her photographer friend, that Friday before she died? Everything was going pretty good. She had just gotten rehired for a huge rate increase. I think she was making $500,000 now. She was always upset that she was making way less than Elizabeth Taylor. So she fought the studios hard, and they gave her what she wanted. She had everything to live for, that guys. Sure, she might have been a little depressed here and there. We're going to talk about that in a second. But Marilyn had just gone to Mexico and bought new furniture for her new, her hacienda-style Brentwood home, and she was furnishing it, and she looked forward to that. She had plans with George Barris to do more work with him, and she was getting offers from Las Vegas at $100,000 a week, guys, which is probably pretty much like, I don't know, $1.5 million today. And so basically she had everything to live for. I don't really believe she was as depressed as everybody said she was. George said she was upbeat. Several people talked to her that day, said she was upbeat. I just don't believe it, guys. But just know, I believe that this secret love affair led to her death. Now you can see in the photograph that Marilyn's head is basically right under this house right here, and the house that's in between, which is the secret love nest of Marilyn Monroe. I actually thought it was this house first because I actually thought we were shooting from the other direction. Now photographers, help me out please, because I think I understand this. When you print a photograph, it actually gets printed to a negative and then back to a positive or what have you. And there's sometimes this flip effect where a photograph gets flipped around. And when I was looking at that photograph, the ocean happened to be on the wrong side of the picture, because I'm used to looking this way with the ocean on the right. And in her photograph, the ocean is on the left. However, and that's why I thought it was shot the opposite direction, is because it was all turned around. So tell me how that works, photographer guys. Jeff Davidson, I know, is a photographer. Phil, hey, you want to chime in, Phil? Tell me why that is. I know that something gets printed and flipped around. So I believe that the photograph that you see most often is actually flipped. But I'm going to show you another photograph where it's flipped, and I think it's in the correct position, but it still confounds me with the positioning on this particular photograph, because it seems to, some photographs seem to be correct and then others seems to be flipped. So we're on our skateboard today, our skateboard with a handle. So I thought I'd take you a cruise down here because it's just a long way to walk. I hope it's not going to be too bumpy, but I want to go give you another angle from the other direction, looking north, because I was fooled by the photograph and its position and the topography in the background. And let's just take a look at this for a second. Now I showed you the picture was taken from back there, but right along here, guys, the topography dips down right here, and you can see that in the photograph. Now I actually thought that that was where it dipped down over here. So, but I was wrong, and I'm glad I came back out here to correct myself. I hate being wrong. I hate when you guys point out I'm wrong. But anyways, we're all human, we make mistakes. Gotta double check our work. But see that where it drops down right there? You can see that topography in the background. And it's really significant right there. It tells you which way we're looking. Let's keep going. Beautiful day today, guys. Hope you're having a great day. And I just had to come back out here and do this for you guys and all the doubters and skeptics, because I knew you were going to bring it up. I knew you were going to say, oh, that's wrong, or you got it wrong, or whatever. There's the house. It's being renovated right now. The workers are in the house doing the required repairs. They were at one time going to take that lower sort of rotunda little protrusion, which is actually the room where the bar is that Frank Sinatra had the drink on, supposedly. But remember, this is the Samuel Goldwyn house, guys. Samuel Goldwyn. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Goldwyn Productions. That's the house right there. So that house, even though it's kind of a dog today, in fact, I'd probably just tear it down. But here's what I would have done. I would have removed the Marilyn Monroe secret love nest. I would have removed it from the rest of the house, taken it out in one piece, hoisted it by a crane, put it on a flatbed truck, and I'd take it to Las Vegas, guys. I'd knock down this house and rebuild it, but I would take that one historic room and I would take it to Vegas and I would charge money to see it because it's absolutely historic. Now here's the view I gave you before, which I was not correct about, because here's the Louis B. Mayer house right here. Where is it? Right there. And the secret love nest, Samuel Goldwyn's house, is right here. I think I've got it. But I thought the photograph was being taken this way because the ocean was on her left. But again, I believe the photograph was flipped in the photographic process, and it actually doesn't really match up with, you know, the exact location, because if we're shooting north and the ocean is on her left, then this is incorrect because we are shooting north. And really the photograph was being taken that way, and you can see Santa Monica Pier in the distance. So those are your landmarks that you can bet on. They didn't move. And but like I said, I had a full I gotcha moment when I saw that photograph of this or the other view going the other way. I said, I gotcha, skeptics and doubters. What do you think of that? Why would she come out here and take a picture? Now let me add to this, because this really needs to be really just regarded as important information. George Barris, her longtime friend and photographer, the guy I just told you about, she trusted him greatly. And like I said, she came down here. She could have gone anywhere she wanted to, but she chose this beach. George Barris in an interview said that on the beach taking pictures that day, that Marilyn would glance over at this house right here, the Louis B. Mayer Peter Lawford mansion, and she would somewhat be in a melancholy state. He said her eyes kind of glazed over a little bit, and then he said she had good times and she had bad times there. Now let's talk about that. Marilyn was a guest at Peter Lawford's house many times. That's no mystery, guys. You can't refute that. They're good friends. She's good friends with Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack, all of them. And they all did socialize at one time or another. But so that there's no debate about that. So when George Barris says that she's had good times and bad times at that house, what does that mean? If there's no affair, there's no bad times. It's all a party for Marilyn Monroe at the Peter Lawford mansion. She's completely in privacy. She's not going to be bugged by any paparazzi. So what does that mean when her best friend George Barris says that she's had good times and bad times in that one particular house, if there was no love affair? Guys, you got to read between the lines. Do I have to really draw you a map? But like I said, skeptics and doubters, I gotcha with that picture of Marilyn. right under the secret love nest house. What are the odds of that, guys? Yeah, you don't have any answers. I know. You're doubters and skeptics. You never have any answers. So we're in basically the same exact spot that Marilyn was in that day that she took those pictures in on July 13th, 1962. And I just want you to look at her face. Look at that smirk on her face. Look at that smile. There's two pictures. She's smiling one time and then she's really smiling and smirking. And I think she's basically saying wink, wink, you know, to the president and his brother. She knows they're gonna see it. She knows they're gonna see this in some magazine or something. So that's her little message, her little like secret message to them. Okay guys, I didn't expect this, but the police have arrived and they're scoping me out, guys. They know I'm filming here. So that's my story, guys. It's an amazing story. It actually happened to me. Like I said, I 100% will swear to it. Take a lie detector test and swear on my mom's grave that that actually happened to me. And I believe this person because they, A, have the right position. They're in the correct position to tell me this story. They know the history of the house. And when you actually cross-reference it with all the other stuff that I told you, along with Marilyn taking a picture right here on this beach, what are the odds of that happening? It's the quadrillion to one, guys. Marilyn Monroe had an affair with John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy in this house, right in back of us. That house right there. Incredible. Where is it? It's right there. Incredible, guys. So, if you like the video, if you like the content I'm showing you, if you like more of the Drew conspiracies, stay tuned because I'll be doing more of that. The dark, seedy underbelly of Hollywood and Los Angeles history, guys. That's what I'll be diving into. So if that's up your alley, I'll be doing all kinds of other videos too as well. Exploration, picking, anything out there, guys. So just check me out. Share on Google+, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Tell your friends about California Pickin'. Tell them about how I just come up with these amazing stories, guys. This one's the best. I don't know if I'm going to be able to ever top this one, guys. So thanks for watching. I know it was a long video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll probably do a follow-up. Cheers now. Oh, by the way, the JFK conspiracy files are supposed to be opened in this year, 2017. Can you believe that? So my timing is absolutely amazing. Marilyn's house just sold. The JFK dress just sold for $4.6 million or some crazy amount. So the timing of this is absolutely phenomenal. If you would like to do some more research on this, please do. If you'd like to contact me to feature this footage in any way, license this footage, please do. I'm open to talking to you about it. All right, guys? As I said, I have 2 more videos. I'm not sure when I'm going to put it out. I'm not sure how I'm going to put it out. But it's pretty good stuff, guys. Marilyn Monroe. I love you, Marilyn. Always keep a good thought for you. Cheers now.